So over the last couple of years, we've spent a lot of time talking about kind of big name projects like Nextcloud or AdGuard, or the list goes on. Lots of big name projects that everybody and their brother has covered. But one of the things that I love doing is finding a project from a small developer or a single developer, a small development team, that is just trying to fill a need. Now that need may be one for themselves or one for a community or whatever the case is, but in today's video, I want to show you a new project that I found. So what I want to show you in this video is something called Pingvin Share. I love just kind of the quirky little name there, of course, the logo that goes with it. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So it's, like it says, it is a self-hosted file sharing platform. And before we get into all of that and how to install it, how to use it and that sort of thing, we do have some bills to pay. So here's a quick message from today's video sponsor. So the holiday season is in full swing. And for some of us, that means buying gifts for those around us. So one of the things that I've learned over the last couple of years is that people often want experiences and ways to better themselves more than they want more stuff. And that's why I am super excited to be partnered with Brilliant.org. Whether it's learning something new like data science and AI fundamentals, or getting a refresher on algebra, spending just a few minutes a day on Brilliant.org has really helped me with my logical thinking skills as well as my problem-solving skills without being overwhelming or tedious. Brilliant.org has thousands of lessons already available with new material being added each month. So you could then say that a gift subscription from Brilliant.org is the gift that keeps on giving. So be sure to head over to brilliant.org/dbtech or click the link in the video description, and the first 200 of you to do that will get 20% off an annual premium subscription. So this is the homepage of Pingvin Share. That is harder for me to say than I thought it was going to be. As it says, it is a self-hosted file sharing platform that, again, is self-hosted. It is privacy-centric because it's on your own server, so you're not having to deal with privacy issues from using third-party services. And there's no annoying file size limit. Now, I want to place a caveat on that. While you can set a limit to your file sizes in the dashboard, you may run into file size restrictions depending on things like your reverse proxy or something like that. So just know that there may be a caveat to that depending on your setup. But this application doesn't restrict file size limits by default. You can kind of set those file sizes for yourself, and we will take a look at that when we get to that point. Now below that, we've got a Get Started button and a source code button. If you click Get Started, it's just going to take you to a sign up page. At this point, I've already got an administrator account that we're going to take a look at, but I wanted to show what this is. You can also turn registration off if you want to do that. So just note that that's an option as well. And then if you click source code, it'll just take you right over to the GitHub repository where you can get more information about the files so that there's complete transparency about what you're putting on your server. Again, I absolutely love that. So across the top, obviously, we've got our home page, our sign in page, and our sign up page. I'm going to go ahead and click on sign in. And then I'm going to go ahead and get logged into my account here. So here we are. We're logged in. We're good to go. It says upload files. You can drag and drop files here to start your share. Of course, you can just click here and it will open up your dialog box, whatever you want to call it there. And it says we can accept only files that are less than 953.7 megabytes in size. Now, if we come over to the admin area, which we'll take a look at, we can change that. I mentioned that before. I want to be just crystal clear that you can modify the file size limit here. Up here, of course, we've got upload where we can click that, and it doesn't really seem to do anything interesting. It just brings us back here, I guess. But if we click here, we can go to My Shares. I love this. I've talked about other file share services like this or containers like this that don't have this, and I'm stoked to see it. Again, we can see when it what the name of it is, how many visitors there have been, when it expires, if at all. We can copy the link again if we want to share it with someone else, or we can just delete the share. Very simple, very basic. I love that so much about this. If we come back up here and click the little icon, we can go to My Account, where we can see our current information as far as username and email address, and we can update our password if we want to do that, or we can delete our account. I love it's little details like being able to delete an account that I appreciate. It's well thought out, it's forward thinking. I absolutely dig it. So let's come back up to the top right and click on administration. Now, we've got user management, which means you can have multiple users on your platform if you want to do that. And of course, if we click that, we can see that I've just got the one user. But if I wanted to, I could click on create right here and assign somebody up and give them admin privileges if I wanted to do that. And then, of course, I could also, modify an account. I can delete an account, and I can see if they're an admin privileged level user. So kind of, again, very basic stuff here. I absolutely love the simplicity of this. I don't know why this one just kind of makes me all giddy. So if we come back up here and we click on administration, again. So we'll click on configuration this time. And here we can see the app URL, so you can change that if you want to. You can decide, do you want to show the homepage, yes or no? Do you want to allow registration? Again, yes or no, true or false. Do you want to allow unauthenticated shares? I would never, never, never turn this on. That's just a bad idea. Anybody could then upload anything. Just a bad practice, in my opinion. Below that, we've got a max file size in bytes. So this is 1 gigabyte. Of course, like you can click this and you can change this to whatever number you'd like it to be, but that is by default, it's set to about 1 gigabyte, sort of. We saw that 937 megabytes or whatever. Below that, we've got enable mail recipients. I really love this feature because I can upload a file and then put in an email address and click go, and it will just send them a link. Let me show you that. So this is the email that I was sent from my service. Just doing some testing. Obviously, I want to make sure that everything works before I make a video about it. But it's like, hey, DB Tech shared some files with you. View or download the files by clicking this link. Share securely with Pingvin Share. And a little penguin. I dig that. That's cute. So if we click this, it'll just take us right over here. And this is the file. If there were multiple files, you can share multiple files at once. I love that. But here is the file. I can click download like so. And there it is. It's just a picture of my desk in the other room. Or you can click download all if you wanted to do that as well. I did notice something here that I'll probably want to rectify when I deploy this, if I deploy this long term. But you'll notice a double slash there. It didn't affect what we did as far as the share was concerned, but it's super easy to fix. You can see I've got an extra slash there, so I can just remove that like so, click save. And now I won't run into that situation in the future. Now, if you want to have email recipients, like I just kind of demonstrated there, or showed the results of rather, you will need to have enable email recipients set to true, and you will need to have an SMTP host configured. Now, yes, you can see my password here. This password won't be relevant when this video goes live, so don't worry about that. I'm not concerned about it. You shouldn't be concerned about it. However, I have already reached out to the developer and let them know that they really should mask the password in the configuration area just for an additional little bit of security, just kind of one of those things. But again, all of this stuff is super simple to change. Just click the little icon there, put in your stuff, click save, and you're done. It's just that easy. So I love by default that it's in dark mode. I actually appreciate that there is not a light mode. So thank you to the developer for doing that. But again, we can do upload. Let's just do a quick demonstration here. Let's grab a file. Do we have anything in my pictures? Let's see. There's an old one. So 2.4 megs. I'm going to click share up here. I've already uploaded my file there. I'm going to click share. I can either put in my own name, whatever I want to call it, like this is an image, or you can just have it generate one, and you can see that this changes in real time. So that's what's going on there. Again, you can decide when do you want it to expire. Do you want it to be after 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 week, month, year? You can do all of that. Or you can say never expires. You can decide, do you want email recipients? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then come down here and click, and now it is in there. You can tell that it's good to go if it's surrounded by the black box there. And then you can say, do you want to have a password on here? If you do, you can put a password in there. Or do you want to limit the number of times the file can be viewed? Again, these are all amazing options to have in a Docker container, a file sharing service like this. Absolutely love it. I'm going to click share, and there it is. Once that turns to a green check mark, it should be shared. Also, the share is ready, and if you want to, there it is. You can just copy that and send your own email to someone else if you want to go that route as well. Or you can actually have multiple recipients in the options down there. When we put my email address in, you could put multiples in there and send it to multiple people simultaneously. Love it. Also, here's that email that I sent myself a minute ago when I sent that thumbnail. That's the email that I got saying, hey, files were shared with you. And there it is. Okay, so here is the GitHub repository for Pingvin Share. And again, like you said, you can look through all the files here and take a look at the code. If you want to be more proactive about your code review before deploying something, it's all right here. And if we come up, we can actually take a look at the Docker Compose that is right there. We can see that it was updated 5 days ago, so fairly recently. In fact, the front end was updated yesterday, so we know that they're actively working on this. We take a look at the Docker Compose. It's 9 lines long, very, very simple to deploy. We will do that here in just a moment, but I wanted you to be able to see this Docker Compose. This will be linked in the description along with the hub.docker.com page for the project, so you can kind of take a look at both of those and keep up to date as far as when new releases and that sort of thing have been pushed live. Now, I guess I should have mentioned this. This is only currently compatible with like AMD and Intel processors. This will currently not work on ARM stuff, but this is still in fairly early development, so that may come later on. Again, if you've got questions, comments, anything about like that about the project, definitely go hit this up on GitHub. Again, links in the description, because the developer will be able to answer those questions more readily and more easily than I will. So just something to keep in mind there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our stacks. Here we are in Portainer, obviously. Pingvin is right there. We've got a version 3.8, which could be 2 for all intents and purposes here. Services, Pingvin Share is our service name. Our image, again, is Stoneth404, I think. I apologize if I screwed that up. Pingvin Share is the image name that we're using there. You could, if you wanted to, put like latest on this. That's up to you, but just this was originally shared by the developer without latest, so you can kind of mix and match how you need to do that. A restart policy unless stopped, which I dig, so if your server reboots, it should automatically try to come back up unless you have manually stopped the container previously. So there's what that's for. Below that, we've got some ports. Originally, this was on port 3000, like so. If you need to change this, only change the left half of our layout here for this. So it's like that, 3847. And I'm actually going to change this just for a quick thing there. I'm going to copy that. So this is what our Docker Compose looks like. It's very, very simple, and I absolutely love that. So now let's get it deployed. So we're going to go ahead and click on the blue button right there, and we're going to click Update. Or you will click Deploy, not Update. I'm clicking Update because I've already deployed it once. So
a few moments later.
So it says it's already up and running, which I dig. However, let's take a look at our logs here. Right now it is applying a database migration. We're going to give this a minute to finish up. And then once it's done, we'll come back and take a look at the rest of the deployment process. Okay, so here we are just a couple of minutes later, and it looks like everything here is good to go. Lots of stuff in green. Green is usually a good sign. So what we're going to do is come back. We're going to click right here. And we're going to go ahead and click on Get Started. And we're just going to go ahead and create an account here and get started. Okay, so this is when you first sign up for your account. This is what you're going to see when you get logged in. And of course, you will want to go through and change your app URL, decide whether or not you want your homepage to show, decide whether or not you want to allow registration. Again, I would never turn on this unauthenticated shares. I think that's just a bad idea. I appreciate that it's there, but if you're going to put this on the internet, I would not turn that on. Again, max file size, email recipients. So just want to go ahead and kind of configure this for your particular use case, your needs, whatever the case is. Of course, if you want to put this on the internet, public facing, for your friends or your family or your colleagues or whatever to use, you'll just have to configure your reverse proxy, whichever one you want to use. Like I use Cloudflare Tunnels for mine, but you might use Traffic or Nginx Proxy Manager or Caddy or any of the number of other ones that are available out there. But I'm going to let you kind of use your imagination on how you would deploy this. But I'm super excited about this. I've actually been kind of chatting with the developer while some things were deploying, and there's already some changes that are going to be made, and I hope you guys enjoy this. If you've got questions, comments, thoughts, whatever, leave those in the comment section down below. But if you have feature requests or application specific requests, definitely go over to the GitHub repository and file those there. I think the developer would be stoked to hear from you and get your thoughts on the project and any changes that you think should be made. But I think that's a lot of rambling. I'm super excited about this, and I hope that shows. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, so I shut the hell up. I want to thank you guys for spending a few minutes of your day with me, and I will talk to you in the next video.